In this video, we're going to now take the post-it note a little bit further and add in a snapshot. So every time I double click, the post-it will then contain a snapshot of that. An additional element that we've added is the ability to skip between the frames using a button, and I'll explain that at the end once we've gone through getting video bitmap data to the canvas element that we're creating in here. Okay, so building blocks first. In the simplest sense, we are going to be working with a video, so you need a video element and a source that you're going to be working with. I'm going to set it to loop, muted, and autoplay for this example. And we're also going to start off with a button. The idea I've given it is snap camera. It can be anything meaningful. Maybe the label could be something along the lines of take snapshot. And that will give us just the basic starting point as we had before. And we should also be seeing a button. Currently the button's underneath, but I'm actually going to move that to above the video, just so that it's easy to see it, and then I'll put it inside of a paragraph, like so. So that's encapsulated the button inside of paragraph. That'll do a little bit of spacing, so we're ready to go. Okay, so in the second part, it's basically adding some JavaScript in after the body asynchronously. We're going to refer to the button to ensure that a function runs once it's clicked. So the last line is getting that element by its ID, and then adding the required event listeners and the function that it's going to call. So the function is called snapshot. That gets called when we click. And in here, we affect some changes to a canvas element that we're going to create prior to that point. So once everything's loaded, we're putting the player, the video element, into this variable player so we can access it more readily. We'll create an element called vidCanvas. So let's create element canvas. To start off with, we'll just give it an arbitrary height and width, although as we move on, it will become more complex. And then we have to tell it its context. And the context is where we change all of the values as we go on. So we access the vidCanvas get context method, and we tell it it's going to be a 2D canvas. And then we append the child of the body so that the canvas will be visible. Once the snapshot function is called, currently in early iterations, there is a background color. It doesn't really do an awful lot apart from fill in space. We use the draw image method, and all that does is it accesses whatever's inside of the player. So it can just take a JPEG from an MP4 video, and it positions it within the canvas to the left, 0 pixels from the left edge, 0 pixels from the top edge. That's relative to wherever the canvas is. And then I've set some arbitrary sizes of 300, 200 for now, as in the width and height of that image. The scale line doesn't actually do anything at the moment, so we can take that out. And we test that. What we're looking for Currently there's a blank element, we can't see anything, but apart from the fact that the page is scrolling, we know it's there. When I click the button and scroll down, we'll see there we have a little screenshot of the film, and anytime we click, it will change whatever is in there. And that's the basics of it. If you were doing that, you could save those images readily. It gives you an option to save as, and by default it's a PNG. That's quite useful in itself. Okay, so we'll stop at this point with the basics, and then in the next video we'll move on to the implementation inside of the application that we've already been creating.